Hello everybody, Buddy with Midland, Texas. I recently did a video talking about Eric Perez as a possible suspect for shooting me. Okay, but there was more to that story. I didn't put in there, and I'm going to hit some of that right now. And here what I got: husband, a NEWSWEST9 reporter. Martin County Sheriff John Woodward was the husband of former NEWSWEST9 reporter Devin Sanchez, and he was identified as the first law enforcement officer seen at my home after I had crawled out and left from being shot with my phone lines cut. He was not dispatched from Midland or Martin counties. I wondered if this was the reason it looks like Devin Sanchez was deleting news stories about Eric Perez being wanted for capital attempted murder and trying to run over and shoot Martin County deputies. Okay. I wondered if Eric Perez was the person under my home that had shot me with my phone lines cut, which was the capital attempted murder charges that disappeared. Okay. I'm going to show you that here's this video. We're going to watch it right now. And you can see that right there was identified as John Woodward, Martin County Sheriff, showing up with a spotlight minutes after I'd been shot. Now moving on, I suspected that NEWSWEST9 reporter Devin Sanchez was the one who had deleted the news story stating that Eric Perez was wanted for capital attempted murder and that he had tried to kill Martin County deputies because her name was on some of them news stories. I'm going to show you that in a minute. I wondered if the reason that she did this was because she believed that Eric had been the person under my home that shot me with my phone lines cut in a premeditated capital attempted murder, and her husband, the sheriff, had a connection to this violent crime. Her husband was the former Martin County Sheriff John Woodward, who was identified in 2018 by Empire Private Investigation as being the first law enforcement officer seen arriving at my house minutes after I crawled out and left. I checked and found out that Woodward had not been dispatched by Midland County or Martin County, so I suspected that he may have been under my home when I was shot by somebody under my home. And his name has been omitted from the police report along with 5 other officers. That can be verified. Nobody has ever explained how a sheriff from another county was at my front door minutes after capital attempted murder. Maybe Devin Sanchez could tell us. It looks like she now works for the Odessa Police Department. I wonder how they feel about guys that tried to kill cops. Okay, and so I found this on the internet too. Here's career. Devin has worked at both NEWSWEST9 and CBS 7 News, who has me blocked also. Devin Sanchez began her career as the city's director of communication in July 2019. So she got this big promotion with the police department. That's from the police department in Odessa, And I wondered if the reason why is because they knew she was deleting these records. About a year after the murder attempt, was reported that Martin County Sheriff John Woodward was getting drunk with an inmate while getting a Santa Marta tattoo. This is the saint of death often used by cult members, okay? And this is information on her husband, Devin Sanchez, Martin County Sheriff, okay? And he here he was the sheriff. This was about a year and a half after, I was shot, and he was getting drunk with an inmate getting this devil tattoo, this used by cults and drug traffickers, That was in the news. Okay. And then in 2018, he's arrested on assault charges, and then he later pleads guilty. I think pleads out, has no prison time, pleads his felony. So now he's a convicted felon of a violent crime. So maybe he was, under my home and had shot me, Here's December 28, 2013. NEWSWEST 9 reported that Eric Perez was wanted for capital attempted murder. The news story was deleted, and then NEWSWEST 9 reporter Devin Sanchez then posted that Eric Perez was wanted for fraudulent identification. They changed the charges and dropped the charges for capital attempted murder. Notice that it mentions a stolen Camaro. The next day, I saw the next door neighbor's red Camaro had been wrecked, and I saw it hauled off by a wrecking company. I wondered if Eric Perez was the guy under my home that had cut my phone lines and shot me, which was the capital attempted murder charge, and Devin's husband, Martin County Sheriff John Woodward, was with him, because he's the first one to show up at my house. Maybe the Midland Police Department should talk to Devin Sanchez, find out what she knows. Okay, these are timestamped. And they're gone now. They're deleted, but I have print screens of them. Okay, so at 4:24 a.m. is where they were saying a man tried to run over a sheriff's deputy in Martin County. So he tried to kill cops over in Martin County, and then he was wanted for attempted capital murder. This whole news story was deleted. And then here after that, Devin Sanchez, see her name on it right there, Devin Sanchez, and this is at 10:02 that night. The charges changed to wanted for fraudulent IDs. It goes from being capital attempted murder, trying to kill cops, to wanted for fraudulent IDs. And he tried to run over a deputy. Perez was driving a stolen Chevy Camaro. The next day, I'm going to show you, I documented, okay, I sent myself an email on December 29th, the next day, and I said, NEWSWEST 9 changed their story and now saying Eric's wanted for fraudulent IDs. There's no retraction of saying he's wanted for capital attempted murder. I noticed today that the next door neighbor's son's red Camaro had been in an accident. There's a dent on the driver's side front panel. Was this the stolen Camaro reported in the story? And that neighbor's the one that I've suspected had the tunnel entrance in the backyard. Okay. Here's from a Google, Street View map. That's the car right there that I saw wrecked. It was the neighbor's son. This is my house over here where I was shot with my phone lines cut. And it looks like in that right there is where that suspected tunnel entrance is. And right here is where it's believed the underground home in the backyard is located. On that picture, okay. Okay, and then here's a Facebook friend says they're all in it together. And I said, I wonder how many people it takes to break into a private home and murder an unsuspecting homeowner. Can the Midland Police Department answer that? And these were the secret police that were caught on camera in my home a few hours after, I shot. This actually was Woodward. The first one that showed up was Woodward. Naylor was the second one. And then these 9 were inside my home. Took 6 years, a $2,000 award to get them identified. Okay, and all their names: Rosie Rodriguez, April Chandler, Dickie, Marty Barrett, CSI, Mike Naylor's dead, Chad Simpson's dead, Mark Gillen, Mike Gillen, and John Woodward. Okay, so all righty, this is interesting. I saw this posted by Eric Perez or Chris Perez. It's one of the best feelings in the world when the traffic light's about to turn, so you haul ass to beat it. Turns red halfway through, then all the cars around you hauled ass to beat it too. Then you think to yourself, yeah, guys, we broke the law as a team. And I wondered if that wasn't a reference to the many people that I believe have assisted covering up the premeditated murder to my life. The ex-wife told me a lot of people were here when I was shot. I believe some kind of party was going on underground, and that was when they were in my house, and I trapped that burglar. Okay. And then lastly, this was on a Facebook comment I'm going to show you here on the comments after Eric was arrested and Sonny Kunkel, the girl with her. And this Mario Morales Sr. says, Laura, you're right. There are miles of difference from being perfect to harboring a criminal, but tried to kill someone. The guy is tied to a drug cartel, big difference. And so that's really interesting if Eric Perez is tied to a drug cartel and Mario knows he tried to kill me. That's what I'm asking these questions. Maybe Devin Sanchez or NEWSWEST 9 knows. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.